Nalini Sharma, my colleague, is also joining me live right now. Nalini, again, just break down the highlights of this verdict so far.
Well, Polemy, the biggest takeaway is that the Supreme Court has categorically refused to order any special probe or any independent probe into the allegations that were raised in the Hindenburg report. In a very clear verdict that has been pronounced by the three-judge bench that was headed by the Chief Justice of India, they have said that no third-party report, whether it's the Hindenburg report or the OCCPR, can be the basis for ordering any probe. They've also gone ahead and said that there is nothing on record to suggest or to cast any aspersions on the probe that is already being conducted by SEBI. At the very beginning, the Chief Justice laid down the tone of the verdict when he said that the court has only limited powers to enter into legislative domain regarding SEBI, and this is something that the SEBI is already looking into. 22 out of 24 investigations have been completed, and 3 months additional time has been given to SEBI to complete the investigation on the two remaining aspects. Remember, Polemy, when SEBI had filed its report before the Supreme Court, they had categorically said that two of the issues were remaining because they were still waiting to hear back from regulators who were based in countries abroad. And because the communication has still not been received, they were not able to conclude the probe on those two aspects. So 3 months additional time has been given. But at the same time, the Supreme Court, in very categorical words, has said that there are limited powers of the court to enter into this domain. SEBI is already looking into the matter. There is no question of ordering any independent probe either by a special investigation team or any agency like the CBI to investigate allegations that are being made in third-party reports like the Hindenburg and the OCCPR. They've also gone ahead and said that there is nothing on record to suggest or to cast any aspersions regarding the members of the expert committee and the role that was provided by them. At the same time, the Supreme Court also directed both SEBI and the central government to take into consideration the suggestions that were made by the expert committee, specifically for the aspect of investor protection. Because throughout the hearing, the Supreme Court has reiterated time and again that protection of the investors is its highest priority so that such instances do not happen again. And for that reason, they've said that the government and SEBI both need to take into consideration the suggestions that have been made by the expert committee, specifically with the point of view of protecting the investors in the country.
Right. So, all in all, Nalini, can we surmise that the Supreme Court has placed its faith in the SEBI's investigation, the ongoing investigation?
Absolutely. In fact, the Supreme Court's also gone ahead and said that all of the amendments that were brought in into the regulations by SEBI, they had the delegated legislative power to do so. So there is no reason to cast any aspersions of that. They have fully entrusted SEBI to go ahead with this entire probe, to come back with the report. It remains to be seen as to whether or not in the next 3 months' time, SEBI is able to complete this report, because time and again we've seen SEBI go back to the Supreme Court asking for additional time because they're not able to receive the communication from regulators that are located abroad. So we'll have to see whether that happens or not. But at the same time, the Supreme Court's categorically said that it's completely up to SEBI to find out as to whether or not there were any wrongdoings on behalf of the Adani Group. There will be no separate investigation by any independent agency or any special investigation team that's going to be ordered in this. The allegations that were raised by the petitioners who had filed at least 4 PILs before the Supreme Court, casting aspersions on the expert committee, have also been shot down by the Supreme Court. So absolutely on no ground is there any relief coming in for the petitioners who were hoping for an independent probe to be ordered into this entire case. But at the same time, the Supreme Court has also directed SEBI to ensure that steps are taken and valid steps are taken to ensure that investors can be protected. And also at the same time, they've put a time limit for the completion of this probe, which was also done earlier by the Supreme Court, Polemy. But SEBI was not able to comply to that time limit, because of which contempt petitions were also filed. As far as we are understanding, the contempt petitions are still pending before the Supreme Court. The verdict on that has not been pronounced yet. But at the same time, on these petitions that were specifically asking for an investigation, the Supreme Court has categorically said that there will be no independent probe that will be ordered into the matter, and no third agency or third party report can be relied on while asking for an independent probe.
Okay, so that is what basically has happened so far in court. The Supreme Court, of course, delivering its verdict as far as the Adani-Hindenburg batch of petitions are concerned. The Supreme Court categorically stated, as Nalini pointed out, no room to doubt the fairness of SEBI's probe into the allegations. So as far as SEBI is concerned, the Supreme Court has placed its faith in the SEBI's investigation, in SEBI's ongoing investigation, said there is no need for any sort of independent probe at this moment.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.